In the lore of Ireland, omens of death manifest in spectral forms, most notably through Banshees and the Headless Horseman known as Dullahans. These beings, steeped in ancient Celtic mythology, serve as harbingers of doom, appearing to forewarn or signify imminent passing within noble families and rural communities alike. Among the tales of Banshees, none is more renowned than that of the O'Brien family of County Clare. Ancient rulers of Thomond, the O'Briens bore witness to generations of eerie encounters with their familial Banshee, a spirit uniquely tied to their lineage. Descriptions passed down through centuries depict the Banshee as a figure of ethereal beauty and profound sorrow, clad in flowing white robes that shimmer like moonlit mist. Her long hair cascades in silver strands, framing a face marked by timeless grief and mournful eyes that mirror the shadows of impending loss. Every testimony a part of the historical record. The earliest documented incidents date back to medieval times, chronicled in manuscripts and annals that detail how the Banshee's haunting cries echoed through the ancient halls of O'Brien castles. Legends speak of specific incidents where the Banshee's presence preceded the deaths of prominent family members, her unearthly keening heard in the darkest hours before dawn. One poignant account tells of a young O'Brien heir, destined for greatness, whose life was cut short by illness. As the family gathered in mourning, the Banshee's lament filled the air, signaling the passing of one whose lineage was bound to the ancient lands of Clare. One of the most notable incidents dates back to 1642, chronicled in the memoirs of Lady Fanshawe. Visiting Lady Honora O'Brien, daughter of the Earl of Thomond, Lady Fanshawe woke one night to the sound of a voice and saw a pale woman's face with huge sad eyes peering through her bedroom window. The apparition's red gold hair glowed in the moonlight as it spoke thrice in an unearthly tone before vanishing like a thick cloud. Lady Honora later revealed that her cousin had died that very night in the castle, confirming the Banshee's appearance as an omen of death within the O'Brien family. Such chilling encounters underscore the Banshee's role as a foreteller of tragedy, weaving folklore into the historical fabric of Irish aristocracy. It was thought, after all, that a Banshee was part and parcel to being a part of the old Irish nobility, just came with the territory. But just in case Banshees weren't enough excitement for the Irish folk of old, Thomas Crofton Croker's Fairy Legends and Traditions of the South of Ireland chronicles encounters with another ominous omen peculiar to Ireland, the Dullahan, known as Gan Sean, or without a head. The Dullahan rides forth on moonlit nights, a dark figure mounted on a black steed. Croker often included a bit of artistic license in his chronicles, it's true, but all his stories were based on authentic Irish folklore that he had collected, outlining the true testimonies and beliefs of the historical Irish. He preserves two such chilling tales of encounters with this spectral entity passed down through the generations in oral tradition, likely originally related as truth. In one tale, a bride-to-be defies her mother's warning to avoid a desolate road where the Dullahan is said to appear. Ignoring the ominous tales of the Headless Horseman, however, she encounters a figure with a head resembling a grotesque amalgamation of a cream cheese and a black pudding, its eyes fiery and mesmerizing. By sheer willpower, she avoids looking back, escaping unscathed from the malevolent presence. Another account recounts a traveler's harrowing encounter with the Dullahan on a lonely road under a spectral moon. As the traveler navigates the mist-shrouded lanes of rural Ireland, the Dullahan materializes, its horse's hooves thundering ominously. Frozen in terror, the traveler witnesses the headless figure's approach, its eyes blazing with an intensity that pierces the veil between the mortal realm and the supernatural. The Dullahan delivers a chilling prophecy of imminent death within the traveler's household, propelling them on a frantic journey home to find the prophecy tragically fulfilled. Croker also documented tales of the headless coach, another variant of the Dullahan legend. One compelling story concerns Hanlon's Mill. Michael Noonan, returning from Ballyduff, passed by the ruined mill of Old Hanlon, and was startled to hear clacking noises as if it were still operational. Meeting his neighbor Darby, Mick took over a horse and cart, and as he passed the river Aubeg, noticed the moon's reflection on a pool had disappeared. Turning, he saw a black coach drawn by 6 headless black horses, driven by a headless coachman in black. As he himself recounted, how was Mick astonished at finding close alongside of the car a great high black coach drawn by 6 black horses, with long black tails reaching almost down to the ground, and a coachman dressed all in black sitting up on the box. But what surprised Mick the most was that he could see no sign of a head, either upon coachman or horses. The next morning, Mick learned that Master Brixon of Ballygiblin had died suddenly, confirming the legend that the headless coach foreshadowed imminent death. Another account of the Dullahans and their coach was communicated by a lady from Cork. As she put it, they drive particularly hard wherever a death is going to take place. The people about here thought that the road would be completely worn out with their galloping before Mrs. Spears died. On the night the poor lady departed, they brought an immense procession with them, and instead of going up the road as usual, they turned into Tivoli. The lodge people, according to their own account, were kilt from them that night. The coachman has a most remarkably long whip, with which he can whip the eyes out of anyone at any distance that dares to look at him. I suppose the reason he is so incensed at being looked at is because he cannot return the compliment, upon account of having no head. What a pity it is none but the Dullahans can go without their heads. Some people's heads would be no loss to them, or anyone else. Well, can't argue with that now, can you? On that note, we'll end tonight's tale of banshees and headless harbingers of doom. Planning a trip to Ireland? By all means, indulge in the beauty of Ireland's legendary greenery and fabled cultural treasures. Just be sure to pack your protective amulet of choice, my friends, lest you find yourself on that dark road to Ballyduff one night. Best go armed as well, you know, just in case. Protected both spiritually and with lead. For as we all know, there's no reasoning with a headless man.
Well, that just about wraps up tonight's tale from Lorehound. Join us as we sniff out more of history's most interesting stories.
As the hound dog entered the dimly lit library, he sensed an aura of mystery surrounding the ancient scrolls. The dusty shelves towered above him as he sniffed his way through the labyrinth of books. Suddenly, he picked up a scent and followed it to a secluded corner. With bated breath, he approached the shelf and pawed at the book, revealing the hidden scroll. As he rolled it out, he knew he had discovered a treasure worth protecting at all costs.